What's up guys, Trials of Steel here. Want to get on here and just fully explain a video I created a few months ago titled The Workout of Champions. And there's so much purpose, there's so much meaning behind that video. The video I uploaded was just for the visualization of it. What we do is real, everything we do has a reason behind it. That video I uploaded is very one-dimensional. So this is what's going to fully explain it, creating it into a three-dimensional purpose behind it. All right, so the Workout of Champions is composed of legs, shoulders, abs, and cardio. If you've seen the video, you know it's a very difficult workout. You know, where the majority of people would run away from it. But the people who has the mentality of wanting to be more of themselves understands the value behind that workout. That it's not just about building muscle. It's not just about getting the pump, but the mentality it comes with. If you show up in a place like that, in the gym, where everything is possible, there's so much possibilities of your potential, what can be of yourself if you pour everything of yourself in a workout like that. Because the hardships we face in the gym, the adversities, of a workout like that, it's the differential that creates the champions, creating the gap between them and the average Joes of life. So, as we start legs, always want to start off with the weak chains of life, the weak points in the physique. If you want a physique that's a work of art, a masterpiece, you have to examine it, realize and be true to yourself that you have some weak points that need to be worked on. For me, it was calves. Like a lot of other people, calves, right? So start off with calves. At the time, I was doing 3 sets, a few drop sets for every exercise. So pouring everything on myself in calves, moving on to seated leg hamstring curls. 3 sets, a few drop sets, just pushing myself till failure for every single set. A lot of fatigue with that. Moving on to leg extensions, and I had a love-hate relationship with it. Just painful, very painful, guys. But behind that pain was the reward of a great pump. I always loved that part, the pump. The reward after the pain. So that was something great about that. But moving on to, it was hamstring curls, but the ones where you're kind of laying down and the back of your foot is kind of hitting your butt. Pushing myself there. Moving on to leg presses. So I was already fatigued and exhausted because of the workouts before, the exercises before. So leg presses, because at the time I was bulked up, the biggest I ever was, maybe the strongest as well. I was doing around 11, 12 reps of 6, 7 plates, pushing myself. Really just, I felt like at times I could have gone in a nosebleed of how hard I was pushing. But because of my cardiovascular system being pretty bad at the time, because of all the fat I was carrying on myself, bulked up, I was very lightheaded. So just exhausted, lightheaded, sweating buckets because of, the hoodie I was always wearing because of my body dysmorphia and whatnot. Just exhausted, man. That was the beginning of the workout. We still had shoulders, abs, and cardio. So moving on to shoulders, I would start off with front delts. I would start off with shoulder presses on a machine, 2 plates. Like I said, 3 sets, a few drop sets, a lot of fatigue. Moving on to lateral raises. Would always get a good pump, there. So that was kind of like a reward after legs. But, looking good, having big shoulders. Moving on to rear delts. So yeah, just pushing myself exhausted. Yeah, guys, just pushing myself exhausted to the limits. But then I still had abs, and abs is very simple. You just need 2 movements. I was doing leg raises and ab crunches. So doing leg raises, it's gonna hit the lower abdominals. Something that's very important to the whole look that we're striving for, right? Moving on to ab crunches, and there was something beautiful about that as well. There was something beautiful about that as well, because in my gym, there's an ab crunch machine I would always go to. You know, something metaphorical. I'm always looking for metaphors in the gym, something to motivate me, because there's so many parallels in the gym that translates to life. So ab crunches, as you're crunching down, really feeling the squeeze, contracting the muscle, then going up, having your head tilted up. There was a light hanging on top of it, almost metaphorical, of the light at the end of the tunnel. Really just motivated me into the person I am today. I always played these mind tricks for myself, healthy ones. You know, I had some unhealthy ones as well, but the healthy ones is what created the differential. It was something beautiful about that being the last weightlifting section of the workout. But then moving on to cardio. In cardio, I was doing Stairmasters at the time. And in my gym, or any gym, right, the Stairmasters has a TV screen. But in my gym, the TVs never worked for some reason. So it was really just you looking at your reflection. And there was a beauty to that. Because at the time, I may have not been where I wanted to be in life or look how I wanted to look. But the reflection was always the visualization of what can be of myself. And every sweat, every tear, everything in between of it was for that person to become a reality. What I visualized, what I'm striving to be, was visualized through that reflection. And it was something beautiful. I just imagined myself, just the creativity within myself made me imagine all the sweat I was sweating off. You know, every single drop of sweat was the old me being melted off, was the fat being melted off. All my old habits being sweat off. The reflection of what can be of myself, truly motivating me, molding me day by day. You know, I used to do it every Monday morning and Thursday night. Monday being the first day of the week, you know, something to keep me in check. I believe that if you win the first day out of the week, your chances of winning the rest of the week goes up that much higher. And even then, the night before, Sunday night, just thinking about this workout, this hardship I had to face on that morning was a workout before the workout. It was a mental battle, guys. One worth fighting because of the values that came with it. That's what I believed in. That's the workout of champions, guys. A workout that slowly but surely will mold you into the person you want to be, into your dreams becoming a reality. That's what I believed in it. That's what I was striving to be in those workouts. Always focus on the end goal. Always focus on what's ahead of me, the greater trials that's ahead of us all. And a workout like that is preparing us. The values came with it. Slowly molding myself. Molding us into the champions of life. Creating the gap between the old us, the old habits that were inhibiting us from reaching our fullest potential. When you see a workout like that, the majority of people run away from that idea. And the champions of life, they face it, setting the foundation of the path of success. The differential, guys. When the majority of people are saying you're doing too much, you say that you can do so much more, because what you're striving for requires you to do that. You guys are capable of so much more. The only thing inhibiting you guys is your own mind. You build that unbreakable mindset, one that's always striving for more, one that's always striving to be a better version of yourself, the man you're supposed to be, the man or woman. You build that mindset in a workout like that. It's getting dark out here, so I have to end this video pretty soon. But I hope what I'm saying today, you guys grasp it. You guys grasp it with everything you can, because of the value of it. I hope I inspired a few of you guys, or maybe even one. That's all I pray for, just for one person to be inspired, to change his life, to see what they're capable of. It's small things in life that truly matters. Because I could have easily just switched up my split, made it easier upon myself. But it was never about the muscle building. It was never about the pump. It was never about just being in the gym, but building the foundation of that unbreakable mindset. Creating myself to the person I am today, where I have the privilege to share a story like this. That's what I strive to be. I strive to be that person that I needed the most at the time, just guiding me to the right direction. And that's the workout of champions. Well, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.